Hi, welcome to the Weekdaily Podcast with me, Chris Betts. It's Thursday, May 21st. You may have noticed I didn't do an episode yesterday. That was because it was the anniversary of my mom's death, and I was not feeling playful. But today's today, so we're back, and here are today's headlines. Budesliga, the German soccer league, is back playing, which is excellent news because there has never been a funnier time to watch English football fans cheer for Germans. 100-year-old Colonel Tom Moore is going to be knighted, and thanks for his raising £32 million for the NHS by walking 100 laps of his garden. I absolutely love this, partly because it's incredibly rare to see a country recognize one of its citizens for just doing something nice, and partly because this sets up the most anticipated milkshake duck since Ken Bone. Now, those were two very specific references in one punchline, so take a second, pause the video, look up milkshake duck, then look up Ken Bone, have a nice big laugh, and then come on back. I'll give you a second. Great, right? Fucking Ken Bone. What a letdown. Recently, the UK has passed two major laws, one of which made all adult Britons automatic organ donors, which is fantastic news. And the other one says that anyone convicted of an alcohol-related crime might be forced to remain sober for up to 120 days. I can't help but feel that these laws are somehow related. That suspicion was confirmed when the UK Health Secretary later told the press, "We don't want your garbage livers." And finally, in somewhat more somber news, Canada has recorded its first officially recognized incel terrorist attack. If you're not familiar with incels, incel is short for involuntarily celibate, a name that the group chose because it lacks the sting of bitter virgins. Now, I'm glad that they called this a terrorist attack because it absolutely is a terrorist attack, but hopefully, more importantly, after being called terrorists for a couple months and still not getting laid, it might finally sink into these guys that women-loving bad boys was never what was holding them back. Now, I want to talk about incels for a second, and this part might not be too funny, but I just feel like they don't get talked about a lot, and when they do, it's sort of dismissed like bloggers or trolls. They're sort of shut down as these basement-dwelling darkness lovers, which, maybe they are. But they're also much more insidious. Incels like to paint themselves as victims, which is really common right now among groups who sort of saw their position at the top of historical power hierarchies as a God-given right, as opposed to straight-up oppression. And this is obvious with incels because of their use of the word involuntary in their name. Now, they say that they're being involuntarily celibate, that they should be able to choose to have sex with women, and they absolutely should. Consent goes both ways. But the problem is, they seem to feel that they should be allowed to choose to have sex with women, but women shouldn't be allowed to choose to not have sex with them. So it's not really the involuntary part that they have a problem with. They don't want to do away with that. They just want to make it someone else's problem. Incels aren't victims. They're predators. They dangle the word nice guy in front of them, like those fleshy bulbs that deep-sea fish have to sort of lure in prey and distract from their fangs. But at least the fish know that they're predators. Incels have convinced themselves that they're not the fish at all. They're actually the bioluminescent mass. And the only reason that they grew those fangs is because no one was basking in their beautiful rays of light. Is it anyone or nobody fucks these guys? Who fucks a bioluminescent mass? So part of the problem with these guys is they don't know themselves. They can't be honest with themselves about themselves. So if you have a friend who is an incel, do them a favor. Sit them down and say, listen, you're a vindictive asshole. So just be a vindictive asshole. There's lots of them out there. If you stick to it, who knows? Maybe you'll be president. Anything's possible. Anyways, that's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, you can contribute to the show at ko-fi.com. That's kofi.com/Chris Betts. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Mr. Chris Betts. Thank you again for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Take care.